If we could all please for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Rowe.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Miller.
I am present.
Councilman Racy.
Here.
Councilman Porter.
Here.
Councilman Sanders.
Present.
Councilman Gabriel.
Present.
Councilman Webster.
Present.
You do have a quorum with all 7 members present. And I believe now we would like to have a moment of silence for Virginia Atwood.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we will start the administration of oath of office. And the first is Jeremy Schneider as the new Deputy Fire Chief. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jeremy Snyder, do solemnly swear.
I, Jeremy Schneider,
Do solemnly
do solemnly swear that
that you will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Charter of the City of Wayne,
and the Charter of the City of Wayne,
and that you will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
the duties as the Deputy Fire Chief
the duties of the Deputy Fire Chief
to the best of your ability, so help you God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Oh, thank you. And I'll sign there. Really?
Let's go. Just do this a little bit. It makes me human.
All right.
Congratulations, Jeremy. Welcome. Look forward to working with you.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard.
And then, do you want the guys to come up here? Do you want to wait for Jason? How do you want to do it? Okay. Okay. Then we're going to have Sergeant Jason Reeves will come up, and then we're going to do a group photo with all the fire guys, okay? Come on up, Jason. Okay, Jason was promoted to sergeant. Okay. Are you ready? Okay. I, Jason Reeves, do solemnly swear
I, Jason Reeves, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Charter of the City of Wayne,
and the Charter of the City of Wayne,
and that you will faithfully discharge
and I will faithfully discharge
my duties as a sergeant in the fire department
my duties as a sergeant in the fire department,
to the best of your ability, so help you God.
to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
Thank you. And then do you want to have your crew come up, and also Jeremy and Mike, the chief, Chief Stratner. Here we go. And we'll have Jeremy too in the middle, and then you'll have to divide and conquer, even on each side, right?
In the center.
All right, Colin. I'd love to. Thank you. Not from you, right? All right, there you go.
Jason. 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 Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jason.
And the next is Wesley Jolly as a police officer. This is the second day, so we're ready. starting it out good. So, are you ready? Yes, sir. Okay. I, Wesley Jolly, do solemnly swear
I, Wesley Jolly, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
the Constitution of the State of Michigan,
and the Charter of the City of Wayne,
and the Charter of the City of Wayne,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
my duties as a police officer
my duties as a police officer
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Look at Chief Masiak with his Class A's over there.
All right.
Wesley, congratulations and welcome to the city of Wayne.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we are going to have your shift and some of the guys that are here, your fellows, so you're gonna stand right in the middle, Wesley, all right? And then here's Chief Masiak. We'll do a group and then
Chance to like.
Heavens, who's minding the store?
Sir, there you go.
Maybe they already had that.
We're gonna take one more. Okay, and then we're gonna have the chief and Wesley alone, and then we'll have your family come up, okay? All right, there you go. You wanna turn, actually turn and shake hands with the chief, there you go. There you go.
Now's my chance to drink.
All right, and then I know his parents and grandparents and other, how do you want to do it? Everyone together? Everyone together, so, no, grandma and grandpa were real proud, I talked to them earlier. Sorry.
Does he want any of his friends? Yeah.
You may have to do 2 rows if it gets too many people up here. Well, I think we'll be okay, all right, there you go. All right. Okay, is that good? All right, thank you, Wesley.
Thank you.
God, when are they gonna shave those? They're gonna keep them a little longer. So I put that bush out for them. And just to get the money.
All right, and then we will start the agenda. Item 1 is approve the agenda.
Move approval.
Support.
I would like to add, if there's no objection, a 3B. Corey Jacobson from the Phoenix Theater Group is here, and I had asked him to come and do a presentation this evening on some of the great things that, some of the awards that they've recently received, and then also talk about an upcoming special event on December 14th.
Move approval with the added item.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Sanders, supported by Councilman Gabriel. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
All right. The next item is item 2, city council minutes. Item 2A are the regular meeting minutes of November 21st.
Move approval.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Sanders, supported by Councilman Gabriel. Any questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And the next is item 3, presentations. Item 3A is a presentation of a certificate of appreciation to Leonard Powell. So Lenny, if you'd like to come up and I'll read it. So, this is a certificate of appreciation. The mayor and members of the Wayne City Council present a certificate of appreciation to Leonard Powell for his dedication and support to the community. And this is given by the mayor on December 5th, 2017. And thank you again for everything you do for the community. And you want pictures together? Want to come up? Oh, crap. Are you going to do it?
Congratulations, Lenny.
There you go. There, you got a smile. Okay. Are you ready? Okay, I'll do one with your phone. You ready? 1, 2, 3, smile. I'll do one more, okay? Okay. Okay. All right. I think I got one. Okay, all right, there you go. And then we've got the added item. Mr. Jacobson, would you like to come to the podium?
Thank you very much. Well, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Thank you, Mayor, for inviting me here tonight.
You're welcome.
We were at the Chamber of Commerce meeting this afternoon, and which was a very nice event, and should invite everyone to come there again next year. And I think there was a little excitement about a few things that we were doing. The first of which was we got a surprise from the Detroit Area Art Deco Society, which has announced that the State Wayne Theater has won the 2017 Preservation Award for Deco buildings in southeastern Michigan. This award is awarded to significant historical buildings of Art Deco architecture and landmarks and businesses that promote art and culture in the community. So we will be accepting that on Thursday night, and I will be there as a guest of the mayor of Southfield. So that's what's happening with that. Also, if anyone hasn't had an opportunity to see it, we are rounding up all of our 70th anniversary State Wayne celebrations. The website, which is at phoenixmovies.net, if you go to the State Wayne page, has a wonderful chronology. We spent a lot of time with our in-house creative marketing director, Joe Cork. He put together a fabulous story that we spent a lot of time writing on the Schaefer family, and of course a lot of this is about the history not only of the theater but of the community, and of particularly of Walter Schaefer and Charlie Schaefer and his brother, and how this came to pass. And I find it really fascinating, so if you have time, please check it out. It's also a mobile website version, so you can go to the Phoenix homepage and go to the State Wayne page and find it there. The other thing that's going on is, well, I guess from a business standpoint of view, the State Wayne Theater will again this year top 100,000 attendees. That's 3 years in a row, so there's over 100,000 people that are coming to downtown Wayne to see films, which I think is just wonderful news for everybody. And hopefully that helps all of our surrounding restaurants, bars, businesses, and makes everyone successful. And the other thing is that Yelp, for the second year in a row, has awarded us with the Best Reviewed Movie Theater in the United States award. And I want to point out that Shane Vida is here. He's the general manager of the theater, and his staff has just really made us very proud and done a wonderful job, I think, securing these wonderful reviews on Yelp from our customers. Also, I want to invite everybody to, if they have a lot of time, on the 14th, for 36 hours, we'll be showing the new Star Wars movie, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and we do an all-night it's really not a marathon because we keep playing the same film, but people are really excited to see the new pictures when they come out, so we focus on that. And if you decide you want to come at 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, it will be showing at the State Wayne. So please come and join us at the early hours of the day.
You keep
So-
mentioning the 4 o'clock in the morning show. I keep thinking you want people to show up to keep your staff awake at that time.
Well, yeah, well, these guys have you know what, it's a fun event, and we've done it, this will be the third year that we've done this 36-hour promotion, and I think these guys get into it, they get excited, and everybody wants to work the 36 hours and then they're dead the rest of the week. So, at any rate, I want to thank the citizens of Wayne and all of you for just what has been a wonderful, we've been in Wayne now since 2012, and it's just been a wonderful experience, and of course, whatever we can do. The other thing, I was discussing this with Lori, we are still actively pursuing the idea of getting historical designation for the theater, on the National Register of Historic Places, and along with the state of Michigan's historic places. I would like to do that, and we are still looking into, we spent quite a bit of money this summer just doing an architectural analysis of the entire building to see if the feasibility study, if we could add screens onto it, which I think is a possibility. I have inspiration from our friends in Chicago they're adding 7 screens in their old movie theater in Downers Grove, so we keep getting inspired in that direction. So we haven't lost that idea. We just, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Thank
But
you.
at any rate, so thank you very much, and I hope everybody has a very happy holiday and a successful 2018. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Corey, I have one question.
Yes.
Can you buy tickets in advance for like stocking stuffers and such?
You can buy gift cards.
Gift cards? Okay.
Those are available, and if you stop by now, you can get Star Wars tins, which are big popcorn tins. They're actually pretty cool. And, of course, you can buy your tickets online for Star Wars so you don't miss out and always have a seat. And we're just all excited
Good.
about these things.
Congratulations again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is item number 4, ordinances and amendments. Item 4A is the second reading of ordinance 2017-05. This is Chapter 210, Uniform Fee Schedule, specifically Chapter 210-06, which is residential dwelling certifications, and this was an amendment of some fees for the rental certificate.
Move to approve.
Support.
It's been moved by Mayor Pro Tem Miller, supported by Councilman Gabriel. Any questions or discussions? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
The next item is item 4B. This is the second reading of ordinance 2017-06, Chapter 1486, registration and inspection of rental dwellings and rental units, specifically Chapter 1486.12, certificate of compliance required.
Move approval.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Sanders, supported by Councilman Gabriel. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
The next item is item 5, general items for consideration. The next 3 all do require a separate motion. These are our annual maintenance permits that we get from Wayne County in order to do work in the right-of-way for specific events, and of course, if there's any water main leaks, things like that, this covers that for the year. So the first one is item 5A. This is to approve the annual maintenance permit for work performed in the Wayne County right-of-way.
Move approval.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Sanders, supported by Councilman Webster. Any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Next item is item 5B. This is to approve the annual pavement restoration permit for work performed in the Wayne County right-of-way.
Move approval.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Gabriel, supported by Councilman Sanders. Is there any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then finally is item 5C. This is to approve the annual special event permit with Wayne County for the installation of banners in the Wayne County right-of-way.
Move approval.
It's been moved by Councilman Racy, supported by Councilman Gabriel. Is there any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
The next is item 5D. This is to approve the recommendation from the mayor regarding grievance number 090617-01.
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Racy, supported by Councilman Porter, is it? Or
Webster.
Councilman Webster. This is not open for discussion. I just need a roll call vote.
Okay.
There is no discussion.
I don't want to discuss on it, I have a question.
What is your question?
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council Lloyd Allen, Precinct 3, Ward 3. What is this grievance pertaining to, and what is your recommendation on it?
This is a non-debatable, not open for discussion. It was held in a closed meeting according to the Open Meetings Act.
So the citizens can't know?
No.
What a shame.
I would like a recall vote, please.
Okay, this is item 5D. It was a motion by Racy, supported by Councilman Webster, and this was to accept the recommendation from the mayor of, regarding the grievance. This is the first to vote is Mayor Pro Tem Miller.
No.
Councilman Racy.
Yes.
Councilman Porter.
Yes.
Councilman Sanders.
No.
Councilman Gabriel.
No.
Councilman Webster.
Yes.
Mayor Rowe.
Yes.
The motion did carry with a 4-3 vote.
Thank you.
The next item is item 5E. This is to approve calling a public hearing for Tuesday, December 19, 2017, at 8 p.m. to consider the use of Community Development Block Grant, CDBG funds for an additional eligible activity for the 2015-16 program year from previously allocated funds.
Move approval. Support.
Been motioned by Councilman Sanders and supported by Councilman Webster. Any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
The next item is item 5F. This is to approve TCO, which is Traffic Control Order, number 617, for the installation of a left lane left turn and a right lane straight ahead sign on 2nd Street at Michigan Avenue East.
Support.
Okay. Would you wish to speak to this, Chief?
Sure. Good evening, Mayor, members of City Council.
Good evening.
This area is specifically southbound 2nd Street at East Michigan Avenue. The roadway, the center lane there, the roadway is painted to turn left only, and the far right lane, or the west lane, is a straightaway lane. The arrows are painted properly marked on the roadway, but there's no sign. So it was brought to our attention in inclement weather or when it's dark outside, it's hard to see those lines. So adding the sign specifying the lanes of travel and what they're designated for would help in that area. So I recommend the installation of the sign.
Are there any questions? Discussion? Okay. Yes.
I do have one question for the chief. Have we considered doing this on Michigan Avenue westbound and 2nd Street? Because there's no painted markings on the street at the time, but there's always two cars pulled there, and I've been there quite often that both went straight ahead instead of the left lane making a left and the right going straight ahead.
Correct, and yeah, that's happened to me also.
Yeah.
That's something I can look into.
Okay,
And report
thank you.
back, absolutely, yep.
Okay. And while we're at it, also Elizabeth.
Get my pen out
Yeah,
here.
get your pen
So,
out,
all right,
since we're here.
okay,
Also, on Elizabeth going north,
okay,
when the left lane, it is painted, and there is the sign off to the side. But I find that in all of those instances, it doesn't do any good. I've almost been hit like 5 times within the past few months because people go straight through from that left lane on Elizabeth as opposed to turning left and going west on Michigan Avenue. So I think if there's any way we could get the signs that hang up in the center where people are looking at the light, they would see that you can only turn left in that left lane.
Yes, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe, Ed, we reached out to the county. Did you reach out to the county? I can't remember.
We did.
Yes.
On the MDOT road, the particular areas, we contacted MDOT as well. Or the one on Second Street right at Michigan Avenue West. Michigan Avenue West right at Second Street. And they did realize that they did not have the proper signage there. So they are in the process of installing another sign to kind of say, hey, this lane goes straight and this one turns. So that one will be corrected. But as far as hanging anything up on the lights, they had not recommended that we would do that, put signs up on those traffic arms.
Okay, because people don't look to the left, to the right to see that sign there. Okay, well, thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
The next item is item 5G. This is to approve the acceptance of a Michigan Municipal Risk Management Authority, MMRMA grant in the amount of $18,825.28 to cover a portion of the Police Department Video Surveillance System project.
Support.
It's been motioned by Councilman Racy, supported by Mayor Pro Tem Miller. Any discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
The next item is item 5H. This is to approve canceling the regular city council meeting on Tuesday, January 2nd, 2018 at 8 p.m. and calling a special meeting for Wednesday, January 3rd, 2018.
Move approval with the time of 8 p.m.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Gabriel, supported by Councilman Webster. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
And item 5I, this is to approve the MDOT agreement for the installation of bike racks in the downtown area, and they're all in the MDOT right-of-way.
Move approval. Support.
It's been moved by Councilman Sanders, supported by Mayor Pro Tem Miller. Is there any discussion or questions? No? Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
The next item is item 6, administration reports.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of items this evening. The first one is, there was a question by a resident last meeting about the GLWA, Great Lakes Water Authority, testing City Hall water recently. And their question was, the GLWA was in testing the City Hall water recently. How often do they test, and is there a cost? Can residents have their water sampled? The Great Lakes Water Authority, and I'm going to have to read this, Ed, thank you for your help on this, is required by state regulation to collect 4 samples per month based on population size. 4 out of the 5 locations are sampled once a month in Wayne. These locations are City Hall, the admin building, the fire station, Annapolis Hospital, there's a restroom, they test in the restroom, the mobile gas station at 32719 Michigan and Vinoy, and the Senior Alliance lunchroom tap. There is not any additional cost to the city. If residents would like their water sampled, they would have to contact an independent lab and pay for it on their own. And DPW usually refers residents to Paragon Laboratories in Livonia. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Blackwell. The second item, this is not a question, I'm going to actually have Brita answer the third, but the DTE lights, I'm sure you've seen the light show across the city. I've seen a lot of, and I don't want to call it the light show, but that's kind of what it looks like. It is comical, but it's not. I know that it's very disturbing to drivers. I know it's very disturbing to people that live here, and I do apologize for that. Ed Queen and I have talked about this, and we are going to be meeting with the DTE rep. I did email them and did ask for a follow-up, but Ed's going to sit down with them. We're going to go over the entire map with them and make sure that, number one, all these issues are resolved, but number two, that this was, as you recall, grant money that the state gave to us for this installation. And we want to make sure it's done correctly. I will report to the state soon, and if the project's not done correctly, I'm going to talk to the state and have them contact DTE and address it with them as well. So rest assured, we are doing everything we can. I'm not sure what's going on. I know that Ed did explain to me that some projects, there were lines hit, things happened, but others, there's really, I can't find an excuse for it. So please know that we are working on that, and we do apologize for the disturbance or any issues it's caused anyone. The last question that was on the last, at the last council meeting was, a resident had received a citation, and there was a $5 building fee charge on it, and the question was, what is the building fee charge for? And I'm going to, Mayor, have the city attorney answer that question.
Thank you. So there's a statute in the state, MCL 141.261, that permits a legislative or governing body of any political subdivision to create and establish a fund or funds for the purpose of appropriating, providing for, setting aside, and accumulating monies to be used for acquiring, constructing, extending, altering, repairing, or equipping public improvements to public buildings. So pursuant to this statute, the City of Wayne passed a resolution, and the language of the resolution permits on civil infractions, such as the case here, a fee of between $5 and $15 to be assessed to the ticket, and in this case, I think the court has opted with the $5 fine per civil infraction, and then in an amount of $20 to $40 for each misdemeanor case resulting in a guilty verdict or plea, and that is placed into a fund to be used for renovation, expansion, updating, finishing, equipping, and maintaining the court building, the 29th District Court. So that money is required to be held in a separate fund in order to, for future improvements, renovations, maintenance, and things like that, because that building over there is obviously an older building that we have, and there's a need in the future potentially for having some renovations or maintenance performed.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor?
Yes.
It was my understanding also that when we passed that it was with the intent that if we had to supply money to Westland, if we were to merge, to continue with that, right?
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes,
That's
if we
correct. The
don't touch,
resolution
yeah.
does contain an alternate, so it says in the event that we merge with the 18th District Court, that money has to be used for the purpose of expanding the court to accommodate our facility. In the event that we do not consolidate with the 18th District Court, then the money is used exclusively to update our existing
Right.
building.
Thank you.
Okay.
That concludes my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The next item on the agenda are citizens' comments or requests on items not on the agenda. Citizens are to limit their comments or requests to 3 minutes. The city council asks that if you do have a question or a concern, to bring it to the attention of the appropriate department whenever possible. If you feel the matter has not been resolved satisfactorily, you are encouraged to bring it to the attention of the city manager. And if still not resolved satisfactorily, to the mayor and the city council. The mayor, the city council, and the department heads may not respond to questions at the meeting, but will respond by the next city council meeting or as soon as possible once they've looked into the matter.
Anyone in the audience? Yes.
Good evening. I'm Nancy Pride. I live on Courier. I have a question. The new recycle center, I'm sure it's a convenient area for the DPW to keep an eye on it. I go in every time I come and sign in, but a gentleman came in before me, and he parked and he was unloading all his stuff, and I went in and signed in. I asked the lady, I said, do you know there's a gentleman out there dumping stuff in there, and I don't know that he came in here. These are all women's names. And she said, well, I'm not going out there. Well, there's got to be some DPW people around there that could help her out with that and kind of talk to the people. So I went out, and I'm one of these brave people, so I went over and I said, I'm sorry to say this to you, sir, but you have to go in and sign in and tell them who you are. Well, I live here in the city of Wayne. I said, I know you do, so do I. But you have to go in there and sign in. So I think a lot of people don't realize they have to do that. The other thing about the DPW is that on that street, if I'm coming up, I'm not sure what street it is that I come up, to go straight ahead into the DPW. I know I go by
Biddle.
Maryland Sawyer.
Biddle Street.
Biddle Street, okay. I go that way. I have a yield sign. I'm pretty sure there's a yield sign over here. but there's a blind corner because of the Edison structure with all their stuff. You cannot see around that corner. And those people do not go down there at 15 or 20 miles an hour to make that curve and get down to Wayne Road. So you may have to install another yield sign so that when we're going across, we're not going to get hit. Thank you. And I had a question about the lights. I thought that was a thing to take pictures, and I thought it was going nuts.
Yes, Mr. Amos.
Madam Mayor, Council, my name is Vern Amos. I live on Stellwagen. My comments tonight are basically with the neighborhood patrol. We're still seeing a lot of cars that are being left open, a lot of open windows, even though the colder weather's starting to move in. Numerous windows left open all night last Saturday night when I was patrolling. Garage doors left open. I know it's easy to forget. You're out Christmas shopping, you're running packages to and from the home. You forget to close your doors, you forget to close the garage. But these things are all things that these guys are looking for. They're all looking for the golden opportunity to see how much they can rip you off. So please, please look before you go to bed and make sure things are closed up and locked up tight. And turn your porch lights on, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council.
Good evening.
2 months ago, on October 3rd council meeting, I spoke. I said that there was a time to talk and there was a time to walk. And we walked. I know this couldn't be done by myself, so I got some friends and people that were concerned about what was happening on the council. I'm not going to mention their last name, I'm just going to go by their first name. Albert, Robert, Pam, Phil, Alfred, Ron, Robert, Nancy, Sandy, Mark, Lloyd, Kelly, Chris, Mike, John, Darlene, Bill, Vern, Brian, Chris, John. I want to thank them for helping. I will be going downtown tomorrow to file some paperwork on the recall. In my heart, I'd like to thank a non-resident, Brian Duca. When I was at home on July 18th and I saw that council meeting when he spoke, it got me out of my chair and got me motivated to be active in my community again. I'd also like to thank but I only have 3 minutes, and I can't thank all these people that signed, because they know what's going on, and they didn't have a voice this November. And because their voice was taken away, they're going to have a voice in May. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Mr. Wild?
Jeff Wild, Newburgh. That was moving. I would like to thank the Borgies for really going out on a limb and spearheading this effort. To my knowledge, it's the first recall in the history of Wayne. It's the first time anyone's been named, and it looks like now it's going to be the first time someone actually has signatures turned in on them. That says a lot in the history of our city. All the big evil people that have sat up there, none of them have ever gotten to this point. And as I said at the last meeting, if it was about saving money, you guys had the chance to do it again. You can save $20,000 in May. And if you guys don't make it through the recall and you get to November, there's 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100 signatures for each one of you. Okay? The people have spoken. more people signed a petition for one individual than voted in the entire election. So the people have spoken and how they feel about you guys and your actions. And it's something for you to consider. So we can save 20 grand right now and you guys resign right now when you guys give your comments at the end of the night. Or you can double down on your own personal agendas and pretend it didn't happen. Okay? It's going to be a tough November if you guys make it to that point, and might be time for a clean slate up here. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
John Conyer, Mildred Street. This might have to go to Lisa, I'm guessing, to the mayor.
Yes.
The contracts that were expired on June 30th of 2016.
Your specific labor
Not my
contract?
specific contract,
Your
I'm just a citizen.
DPW's contract.
No, I'm not talking about my contract. I'm
Okay.
talking as a citizen here.
Okay.
I just want to know, do we still have any contracts that haven't been ratified yet, 18 months later?
City manager? Two. There are two.
Two? Is there any reason why it's taken a year and a half to get those two ratified?
Do we answer that? Is that something we don't answer? No. City attorney?
Well, if it's an active negotiation process or a
It is-
pending
they
grievance,
both
then
are.
it would be considered a matter that should be handled accordingly.
Okay. Sorry, I can't answer that.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes.
Well, the one, I know it was probably a small error. The city attorney, I asked at the last council meeting about the legal definition about lawful order, and previous council meetings, I asked about getting some of our money back from Hype to keep the recycling center open, because we're giving him $124,000 a year. Trying to get back some of our money to keep the recycling center over, and never heard anything about that. I do want to say thank you very much to my fellow resident, my good friend, Mr. Bob Borchi. Did an awesome job, and all the other people, especially, like you said, the people out there that signed the petitions. We, the people of the city of Wayne, are the city of Wayne. Without the people, there would be no city. We, the people of the city of Wayne, are the owners of all personal and real property held by this city. The city has no money. The money in the city accounts belongs to the people of this city. We, the people, have in fact hired the council and the mayor to do our bidding. We have a Republican form of government, and as such, we elect representatives to do our bidding. These elected council people and the mayor are not elected to represent their own thinking. They are required to swear the constitutional oath of office in order to be seated as elected representatives. They were not elected as community leaders, they were elected as representative council members. I do not recall ever having cast a vote for a leader in my lifetime of voting. We don't need a leader nor a follower. We need a group of elected individuals to represent us, hence the term a Republican form of representative government. The city is not supposed to be a monarchy nor a dictatorship. It is supposed to be a city of the people herein. We are not supposed to have queens or dictators. We elect folks to their respective elective offices to represent us. This is called a representative Republican form of government that was set in motion for us by our Constitution. It seems elected people have long since lost their way regarding their constitutional oath and responsibilities. Without ruffling too many feathers, it seems a refresher course in our Constitution is in order. We as a group of voters have hired you to put things to good use for the people's mutual benefit. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Osborne, Delhi Street. I would like to know the communication of the city council meetings being broadcast on a public channel. I was watching silent movies for almost 2 weeks. So I'd like you to look into it, why you have silent movies, except for maybe the last day and a half. You became active at 6:00 PM. I think with the IT director now doing the job, that you should do a sound check on that before we get into business. And while we get into that, I've heard a lot of news from people that did monitor it in sign language, is the retention of our records. Like Mr. Reyes said, I think we ought to have one in the library, and that we can keep these for a long way to go. I don't know who's going out looking at garage sales for VHSs. This is the new idea for the CD-ROM. So let's keep it that way until something else comes. Let's place it in the cloud. And I think I had one more thing about our garbage. Nobody responded to somebody's about picking up the leaves. Did you get back to that? About would they continue to pick up leaves past their time?
You mean the yard waste pickup, the brown bags?
Yes, Mrs. Pride asked you that some time ago.
This-
And,
Mr. Queen?
pardon? You're using my time now.
Okay,
Can we let him
could-
finish his comment?
Yes,
You're using
please,
my-
please finish.
Thank
Please,
you
no,
very much.
finish, okay.
I'll get you next
Okay.
week.
Mr. Queen, what is the last date for the yard waste pickup?
The last date is the week that contains December 15th in it.
Okay. So that Friday of that week.
That week
Let's see.
will be the last pickup for each.
Okay, Friday is the 15th, so from 11th through the 15th would be the last pickup? Okay. All right, so if everybody could please note, December 11th, which is Monday, through Friday, December 15th, that is the last pickup of your yard waste bags. Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Mr. Powell.
Lenny Powell and Help. I do have a show coming up at Hype this Sunday. The raffle and the 50-50 will go to Covenant House. It's to keep teens off the street, so that's what that'll go for. And also providing for Paul's asked me to have a booth there for them. They will also be having tickets for a Florida vacation and a Delta gift card, a big screen TV, and it looks like a cleaner of some sort. So, and that's Sunday from 12 to 5.
Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. Okay, anyone else? Yes.
Hello, my name is Judy Pullens. I live in Newberry Square Apartments. I have a comment about Hype. 3 times I swimmed in their pool. It was lovely. It was nice. The last 2 times it has been cold. And I mean cold enough. I'm a lap swimmer. Swim an hour and you still got goosebumps on you. They need to do something with that.
Okay, all right then.
And I enjoyed the Christmas tree lighting and the parade. We had a good time.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? No? Okay.
The next item on the agenda is item 7, items for the next agenda.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
could we get a member or it doesn't even necessarily have to be for the next agenda, but if we could have a planning commission member present to give us some sort of indication what their position, because I saw in the minutes that they were opposing any expansion of the medical marijuana. If we could have a representative from their commission here.
Is,
I'm
or,
not sure how to address that. I guess we'll have to see what we would do. Usually the commission doesn't give a report, the members don't give a report.
Right.
So I think their actions spoke through their resolution in and of itself. But I guess we can talk to the city attorney and see if there's more that they want to expand upon or not.
I wasn't there, that's why I just didn't know. What the reasoning for it. I don't have a way to contact them, so.
I had spoken to Mr. Pugh today at the Christmas luncheon for the chamber, because I had concerns as well. And he stated that because we had extended an invitation to zoning board members and planning commission members to come to that presentation that we had, afterwards, when they went to their meeting, they talked about it, and they felt that they don't want us to jump in head first.
Okay.
They'd rather have us have all of our ducks in a row and sort of, sit back, see what's going to happen down the road, because their greatest fear is that for legal action, if and when, if we go ahead, and then if it's passed next year for recreational marijuana, what that would do, how it would affect anything that's already in any buildings, any licenses that had already been granted, and maybe we hadn't moved forward with them. They were mainly concerned about the legal aspect of it, the city getting themselves into a bind. And I
So using
told
the city of Wayne as a test case.
Right,
Because
yeah,
they know that we
yes,
can. All right.
yeah. That was his
And I'm
major concern.
sufficient with that
Yeah,
then. Thank you.
That was his major concern.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I retract that then.
Okay. All right, nothing else? No?
Then the
Okay.
next item is item 8. This is the consent calendar. There is one item before you.
Move without exception.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported by Councilman Gabriel. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay.
And comments from members of the city council.
Okay, I will start with Mayor Pro Tem Miller.
Thank you, Mayor. Just real quick, just to say we had a great turnout for the Christmas lighting and the arrival of the holiday spirit in our community last week. I brought my mom along, her first time. She's a new resident here as well now, and she had a great time, and I think everyone else did as well. Other than that, everyone continue to have a safe holiday. I know the weather's going to start getting colder. Think about those folks that live around you, the older ones and your pets, and just do that act of kindness and share that holiday spirit. That's all.
Thank you. Councilman Gabriel.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Nothing tonight.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Sanders?
Also wanted to say what such a great event that took place at the museum. Kudos to everybody organization and people who made that possible. It was an outstanding event. Weather cooperated. Santa Claus was good. And that's it.
Thank you. Councilman Porter?
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to say congratulations to Lenny for the certificate, to Jeremy Schneider, Jason Reeves, Wesley Jolly. Glad to see these people working for us, being our backbone here. So I also was at the Christmas tree lighting. I didn't stay very long, but I appreciated it. It was really nice. I echo what Chris said, Councilman Sanders, about kudos to those who put it on. It was very, very nice. That's all.
Thank you. Councilman Webster?
I just want to start by kind of echoing what some of my fellow council members have talked about with the tree lighting. There were so many smiling faces. Everyone had a great time. So thank you to the Wayne Historical Society and all the sponsors that made this possible. I look forward to it next year. As everyone knows, the Christmas season is in full swing, so please shop locally. I have my tie pin on from Helium, so please remember to support them during this holiday season. And finally, thank you to Phoenix Theaters for all the new eyes that they're bringing into the city. 100,000 people coming into the city, seeing what we have to offer. It's a fantastic thing to be hearing, and I hope in coming years more people will come to check them out and other new things that are coming into the city. That's it.
Thank you. Councilman Racy?
Thank you, Mayor. I too want to thank, or congratulate Jeremy and Jason and Wesley on their swearing in tonight. It was great to have that as part of our council meeting. I think it's a great opportunity for the residents to see what's going on, and it was, I was really glad it's off again. Is it on again? There we go. I think it's just great to have that here at our council meetings again, and I just want to say congratulations to all you guys for what you're going to be doing for our city. So thank you. Two, I want to thank everybody that came out and helped out with the holiday night at the museum. Great night. I had a real good time. Got to spend a little time with Ed, teaching him how to DJ. So he was out there spinning a little bit. But thank you for volunteering and coming in on your day off and working for us and helping out and the DPW workers that came out to make that happen. That stuff doesn't happen without you guys. So I appreciate that. And the Historical Society and everybody else that was part of that. And I know Lisa mentioned this earlier on the lights all over town. I know I've mentioned it to her many times and very frustrated about this situation when residents have asked about it. I'm extremely frustrated. I'm very concerned that there's some lights that weren't actually changed over for us, and I look forward to getting a report and seeing where we really are at with all of this stuff. And I also would like to see if DTE is going to be refunding us anything for the amount of lights that are out. It's ridiculous in the downtown area, and I think that the city of Wayne should be compensated to some point with that, because there's just too many lights that are out. It's just not a couple. It's a major part of the city, and it doesn't look good for DTE, and hopefully that gets back to them, that it's not appreciated the way that they're disrespecting our community by not taking care of things. I saw 6 of their vehicles out here, and I saw nothing happen last week, and very frustrated. Watched them just sitting in the parking lot and saw nobody get out of their vehicles, and not good. On another positive note, make sure that you go to downtownwayne.org and register for the $1,000 shopping spree for the downtown this Christmas. It's a DDA Main Street thing that's going on, and I think there's another week left for that. So make sure that you register for that and have a chance to win $1,000 shopping in downtown Wayne. Thank you.
Thank you. As was stated earlier, I attended the Wayne Chamber of Commerce Christmas holiday luncheon, and they had their awards presentation. The Corporate Business of the Year Award went to Demmer Ford. The Retail Business of the Year Award went to Northside Hardware. And then the Wayne Nonprofit of the Year was Community Living Services. And then their volunteer business person for the chamber that does a lot, she was given an award, Maria Trinidad. She is the treasurer for the chamber, and she also is part owner of Lobo Tires. And she does do a lot of work around the community with Main Street, and you see her every time there is a chamber event. She's always out there, and a very, very pleasant woman to work with and to know. It was a really nice event. It was held at Wayne Tree Manor, and it was well attended. And with that, just again, thank you to everybody who worked on the holiday nights. It was a lot of fun. The Santa Claus was really a good Santa Claus. I mean, he was the real thing. He had the long white beard that was his beard, and it was interesting. I ran into a little boy at the museum, and he said, he's the same Santa Claus that was at Derby Alley this afternoon. And I says, well, Santa's busy, so, he tried to be here, and he was here all day, so that was pretty good. He says, yeah. And I said, did you ask him for something? He says, yeah, I did. He said, I asked him for a drone with a camera on it. And I said, oh, okay. And he says, so when I saw him tonight, I told him that I already told him this afternoon, and I asked him for it again. I thought maybe asking him twice, I might get it. And it was cute. And the kids really had a good time. It was fun. They enjoyed Santa, and he walked. He didn't want to ride. And it was fun. Little kids were just running up to him, hugging him, and wanting to, tell them what they wanted from, Santa for Christmas. And Santa assured me that there were no naughty kids in Wayne. They were all nice kids. So I was happy to hear that. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.